All right, welcome everyone. It's Monday evening, and we are working on the last chapter of from the book Practical Work on Self, The Last Hour of Life. And I don't know if I need to share my screen or not. I don't think there is anything left to read for this chapter, but maybe
No, we don't need to share the screen.
we can just discuss through it.
So what questions does anybody have for the group? We have a small little intimate gathering of workers, of voyagers.
Any special technique you guys are following to hold the attention?
So your question is what?
Any special technique are you guys following to hold the attention? What I found that when we can try while day-to-day work, but when there is a mental work is involved,
Yeah.
some demanding work involved, it's hard to forget. And then you are relaxed, free, not doing any heavy work. Heavy means occupying work. Then it is little easier.
Do you know what they say, Rajesh?
Mhm.
That the answer to that question is too simple for the human mind.
What do you mean by that, David?
So, Rajesh, are you a sports guy?
Not much.
No. Do you do you have any hobbies?
Reading.
Reading. Okay. Other than reading, do you have a garden?
Yes, I do
Ah,
garden work.
there's a garden. Okay, good, 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 good. So what what happens in the like in in your garden? Do you have do you plant like vegetables?
No flowers.
Flowers, okay. Even more. So what do you do with those flowers? Well, do you like just throw a seed in the earth and then go back in?
No.
Well, what do you do?
All the preparation work. I know where you are going. Where- I understand where you are going.
You work on the ground, right? You
Yeah, everything.
right and
Platform.
everything.
Put
And do you ever
water.
water it?
Mm,
Or you just hope that there's going to be enough air?
no, water it.
You water it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Does there ever come weeds?
Yes.
Ooh, 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 ooh. You just let them grow because that's a natural thing, right? Weeds.
Right.
Or do you kill the poor weeds?
I plug them out.
Pluck them out. If you did none of those things, what would the flower look like?
It won't grow. Maybe grow, but
Maybe, maybe not, right?
yeah.
So why in the world does a big brain like yours ask the question, and this is actually going to be could be a little embarrassing to you, but why does a giant brain like yours ask the question, what's the special technique to improve your attention and awareness?
We have been trying lot many techniques, like how many we have learned from the practical work on self, other techniques focusing on breathing, other techniques that you are dreaming, you are the dreamer, and you are the inside the dream. All we remember everything, but in the practical work or life, some it's hard to
That's
tell
all it
you.
is, baby. It's just practical work on life. Now, you guys are you as addicted to coffee as I am?
No, I'm not.
Not
I
at all.
am. I am.
There he is. Bernie, you drink a little bit of coffee from time to time, right? Yeah. But you would drink tea, I would imagine, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he might be addicted to tea as much as you are addicted to coffee, David.
But I mean, you get up in the morning and do you make tea?
Yes.
Oh, how exactly do you do that?
Couple of steps. So focusing on those steps.
Like what steps? I don't even know what you mean.
Just like boil water.
Ah,
Uh,
so how do you boil water? You just like look at it and you just
no,
go, ooh.
put it on the stove.
Ah, so you have a container,
Yes.
you fill it with water and put it on the stove,
So yes.
right?
Right.
Turn the stove on. Did you pay your electric bill or your gas bill?
No.
Right, so it won't work. Forget it. And then while that's happening, do you actually prepare, do you use tea bags or do you use a teapot?
A part.
Teapot. And in the back of your mind, you're saying, of course, are you an idiot? Because that's the only way to make good tea, right? Fresh, alive. What particular tea do you make, or is it different every day?
It's the same.
Same.
Yeah.
Tell us what that is. We're everybody's just wait, I gotta get my paper out. I'm gonna write this down. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it loose tea, black tea?
Black tea, loose
Yeah.
tea, any
Loose
brand
black.
whatsoever, or just
No one particular brand. Only get it in
ah,
the Indian grocery store, especially famous in the Gujarat,
exactly, right?
right?
Now, how does the tea get from the store to your house?
I go grocery shopping.
Now, when you get to the Indian store, and we don't have any Indian stores in Grass Valley, but and in fact, there are probably some in Sacramento, I'm sure. But I know there's a Japanese store, a friend of mine's Japanese, and I take her there. And it's a whole new different world, right?
Right.
Now, is there only one tea in that entire store?
No, couple
No.
of,
There's like two
right.
or 50.
Yeah, multiple options.
Right. And how do you go about deciding what to buy?
We know or by testing once in a life, we know that, okay, this is the taste which I like, and then go
You
for
and your
that.
family go and decide it, and this is it, this is what works. So you go to the store. Does it come in prepackaged bundles or do you scoop it into
It's a packet.
packet? It's already packaged. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The tea that you bought, where does it come from? Detroit? Was it grown in Detroit, the city
No,
of
it's
Detroit?
probably out of country.
Oh, I see. Where out of country was it?
Mostly from the India only, because that's what the brand we get it.
Exactly. So in India, this tea that's being some guy has a herb farm and he's growing this tea, right? Him and his
Mhm.
family or whatever. When does he plant it so that how does he even harvest it? How do you even harvest tea? You pluck in some cases, you pluck the leaves, right?
Right.
Like I know you do that with the mint. I worked for a tea company, by the way, for a while.
Nice.
I did. So, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, got it.
It's an giant movement of mankind Now, I've said this before. So I make coffee in the morning. I buy a particular brand that is in coffee, you want it roasted. And I buy a particular roasting brand that's roasted locally here in town, Grass Valley. I bring it home and then I grind it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah. Put that in the grinder. So then I've got it in this little jar. And then I put this spoon in the jar and take it and I put it into the coffee pot. It only makes one cup. But if I'm paying attention, the spoon goes in there, I bring it out, and then I pour it into the coffee pot, and I don't spill it on the counter.
Mhm.
But if I'm really involved with the internal machine and the yabbering, the yeah of my machine, I might hit the edge of the little jar, and some spills on the counter.
Mhm.
But what if I pick that coffee up just right? What am I doing to it? Tell me. I'm picking it up.
Paying attention.
I'm paying attention to it,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And we haven't read Seven Bodies of Man. Or did we read that in this class ever?
No, we did not.
It's kind of complex. But when you put your attention on something, it's you're empowering it, Rajesh. Okay. You're giving it something. There's some people, if you look at some of the guys that are studying consciousness, some of them talk about that it's an actual substance. Your attention is an actual substance. Okay.
Mhm.
What if that's true? And you put your attention on the tea scoop that you scoop into the container before you put it into the teapot, and you're placing all of your attention on it, right?
Mhm.
Now, in some religions, they would call that, like the Catholics would call that you're blessing it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, like putting attention to something is akin to like blessing it.
I don't know. Is it? What a question. It's so mental. I mean, those are just words that came out of my mouth. What would blessing something even be? So now in India, I mean the Japanese and this lady I was dating for a while, a lovely, lovely woman, still friends, Japanese, and she was an expert in the Japanese tea ceremony. Have you heard this? Ever heard about that?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have anything like that in India, like a tea ceremony? It wouldn't, not quite.
No, I don't think so. I think having tea is just a mundane part of
Ah,
your
and
life.
that's the problem, right? It becomes mundane.
Well, Indians have tea all the time, maybe three or four times a day.
Doesn't matter, man. Doesn't matter. What you're saying is, I celebrate it being mechanical. I don't need to think about it. What if you flip and every time you did it, it was a holy ritual? Do your kids drink black tea? Do kids drink tea? black tea?
No,
No, no, no, no. Okay. But your wife does, right?
sometimes, yes.
Sometimes. Okay. But think of what you're doing to the tea when you're placing your higher attention on it. Okay? So you ask, how do you improve your attention? Make a good cup of tea.
Garlic.
And send 1 cup for me.
And save 1 cup for our dear, dear Swati and her daughter. Hey, I got into tea about 2 or 3 years ago, and I was buying tea from this. It was Indian tea. It's Puror. Oh gosh. And you can only grow it in these mountains. And every time I'd start to make it, and you have to go through this whole thing to make it properly. I thought of those people in that mountain taking care of each individual plant, like you take care of your flowers. And what if they were blessing the tea plant like you're blessing your flowers, right?
Right.
And you want to buy from that guy, right? There's no other way to do it, Rajesh. There's no secret method.
Got it. Thank you, man. Thank you, David.
And there's a hidden blessing to it. Because as soon as you start doing that, you find wonder in whatever process you're thinking of, whatever it is. Okay? The tea suddenly becomes this magical adventure. Do you take tea to work?
No.
Do you make tea while you're there?
Yeah.
Okay. What if you did the same thing? At work? Maybe not as elaborate, but something, I don't know.
I work from home.
What's that?
I work from home.
Oh, you work from home. You don't
Yeah.
go to the office?
No.
Oh, well, then you have an extra ability to do it all day long, or at least once or twice in a day, okay?
Right.
I'm not saying you got to do it every single time. It's become a ritual and all, because then it becomes mechanical too. You want to be surprised by life. Okay? I have this vision of God. I think I've shared this before. I think of like this like a nice gradual green hill. It's not a mountain, it's just a nice hill, right?
Mhm.
And halfway up the hill, God's sitting there with a bunch of pom-poms and he's going, "Come on this way. It's really a lot of fun. Come on." And his pom-poms are going, he's dancing. Come on up the hill. What do most people do?
They'll go there.
They just walk on by and they go, "That nutcase." We're being invited into the absolute and the holy every minute.
Oof,
David,
that's true.
have you ever heard of um biologically content that is needed to hold the presence or the attention?
Um,
I mean, some of the salts, like Mr. T, he mentioned somewhere that we need some salts, and when we are born, we have like enough of all those salts. So when we are young, like below 35 or 40, it's very easy for us to hold the presence and hold the attention. And slowly after 40, those salts starts getting depleted in the physical, like biological machine. So he gave one experiment that when you are turning 40, start drinking like a white onion juice early in the morning, as much as you can, like a spoonful to even more, empty stomach. Do it for 1 month, and he said like you can accumulate enough salts to for like holding the good attention for rest of your life. That was one experiment he given. Second is the same thing, the 3 SRB practice, right? Three-step rhythmic breathing also produces that salt that helps you hold the presence and attention. And I have experienced a lot. Even now, like if you do 5 to 10 minutes, it helps you quite a bit to hold your presence and attention. So that's one thing he just mentioned. So
Okay, can you say more about that?
uh
Expand on what you're saying, because you're talking about holding more attention, right?
yeah, being present and attentive, right? So say for me, right? Say if I'm trying for something. For example, I do self observation, and for self observation I need attention and presence, correct? So now, but every time, say I'm taking one incident, whenever I will be about to react to anybody for anything, I will just, pause there. Instead of reacting, I will just pause. Okay. But to have that pause, I need to be attentive and I need to be present in that moment, correct?
Well, that's
And
pretty
every time I
scary.
forget that. But if I make it a point to do this 3 SRB at least for 20 minutes or 30 minutes a day, it even just 20 minutes a day helps me to remember 6 times out of 10 times when I'm about to react and I can hold the pause.
Yeah, yeah.
And sometimes without effort or not just the reaction, sometimes I am just doing something and from nowhere I get completely present in my body. I can feel
Good.
biological machine.
Okay, so stop there. Why does that happen to Swati? Out of nowhere, she has presence and attention.
I just like when I say like root cause, only difference and only time, like, when I'm doing 3 SRB, I'm adding 3 SRB practice for some time in a day,
Okay.
then that becomes sometimes automatic. And if I'm making an effort for the self observation, then it's easy, or I would say it's a success rate is larger, I mean more than the failure rates to pause
Yeah,
in
let's just
between.
say let's use a different phrase. It's more available. It
Yes,
becomes more available to you.
correct. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So does anybody ever read the book HBM, Human Biological Machine?
I
No?
studied, but it's very hard. Like
I
Rajan's,
read it.
there was a group like now we have a study group. Rajan is also having some of the study groups, and there we used to study. Like I think 2 years back, we were studying that HBM there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in the HBM, it says there's the machine, right?
Yep.
Now, EJ offers what I consider an absolutely unique commentary on spiritual practice. He says that we're not just one electrical being, we're two. There's the human biological machine, maybe we can just call it our body, but then there's this essential self, right?
Mhm.
Two different. Unfortunately, the essential self for most of us is quite small and buried. Now, every once in a while, by accident, and we all have these accidents, which I call the grace of God, we open up and we see something. It could be music, could be a painting, could be a sound, it could be a bird. And suddenly the essential self wakes up. It's not the right term, but the essential self peeks out. Okay. Then, of course, because it's so unsafe, it goes back and lets itself be hampered by the machine. Some people, like the crazy people that are on this, the six people right here, actually pursue that little nudge into the essential self. And they do stuff like they meet with other people to talk about it. It's crazy. But gradually, the weeds that are the human biological machine move away enough where the essential self is more available. I don't know how to do it other than put time, the term is time in grade. This is a mature class of studies, of students. This is not a class of beginners. Okay. So you chose to be in a class of pretty advanced individuals, except for one of you. And I don't want to say who it is right now, but what? EJ used to say, you go through these big long things and he goes, oh, and you've got to remember, you've got to be aware of the weakest chain in the link. And he'd go on and on about the weakest chain in the link. And he goes, oh, and by the way, you are probably the weakest chain in the link. Oh, Christ. So, did you give us an exercise, Nikhil, for this week?
No, well, the task was to read the chapter by yourself and come up with your own exercise that you were going to do this week. Say what you're going to do this week and then do it, and then come back next week and share the results.
So we didn't have to do anything this last week.
Yeah, well, last week was contemplation and coming up with the
Oh,
task.
we were supposed to contemplate something. The
So,
chapter?
yeah, well, read through the chapter and then come up with your own exercise.
Oh, okay. So how did you do? What is you're the leader, so you probably did it, right?
Well, I read the chapter again, like just before this meeting.
Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. 24 times 7, it's 168 hours in a week. And you just did it like 30 minutes ago? It's a
Yeah,
short chapter, dude. All right. So what'd you come up with?
well, uh, I thought that, it seems like the only way in my mind to do this is just take it hour by hour. and divide, like just pick any hour of the day. Let's say on Tuesday, I'm gonna decide that I'm gonna pick from 6 to 7 p.m. time slot, and then use that slot as my last hour of life, and then go through it uh, and try to settle my accounts if that is even possible. Uh,
Settle your accounts.
mhm, like with life. So if I'm
Settle your
dying,
accounts with life?
mhm,
What does that even mean?
I have no idea.
So, oh my God. So how are you going to do it if you don't know what it even, you said, I'm going to go settle my accounts, but I don't know what it means.
Well, I guess the only way to do it is to go through it and
The
see
best thing
what.
you could do, instead of saying, I guess the way to do it is start with, I don't know.
Yeah,
Can you stand in that place, Nikhil?
I sure can.
And not even intellectually, I don't know, but you really don't know. And allow
Yeah.
yourself to not know. What does it mean to settle an account? In is it the Rishi Zen Buddhism? That's where they use the koans, right? So those guys, the Roshi gives the student a koan, right? Has anybody ever heard of the koan? What is the
Mm-hmm.
koan? Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
we kind of know what it means, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so you get a koan. Let's say there's a little thing is okay, here's your koan. These guys get up like at 5 in the morning, right? Just before dawn, just as dawn is breaking. And then they line up at the um, whatever the where the Roshi is, right? The Roshi's in there meditating, and everybody individually lines up, and you go in, and the Roshi just asks you one question: what is the solution to your koan? Every morning, you have to line up, and he will ask you that question.
Oh no.
Every morning. So the first morning you can, you're just an idiot. I don't know. But the second morning, it builds on you and builds on you. And if, let's say, you start talking, right? When the Roshi is done, he has a little bell and he rings it. Go out, get out. Some people, as they walk through the door to sit in front of him, he rings the bell, get out. That doesn't mean that the next morning you're not required to do it. I swear, Nikhil, if you took on the concept of what does it mean to pay your debt, and it became a koan for you that every day at 6 p.m. you had to answer, it would it would deepen you with wisdom. You may not ever have the answer because you only have 7 hourly times between now and next week to answer, right? Starting tomorrow. What does it mean to settle your accounts? It's right there in the book. But if you really took that on as a task, probably for the first 6 months, you would just be locked in your mental garbage and all that stuff. And gradually, you'd start to think, maybe it's important for that to be answered on behalf of others. And maybe there's no intellectual answer. Maybe it's just, how do I settle this particular account or this particular behavior? Maybe it's related somehow to karma. Okay. Did anybody else read the chapter and come up with an exercise for themselves?
I was just paying attention hours by hours. So I was noticing the hour when the hour finish and the other hour begin, and I was trying to be more conscious during 1 hour, for example, beginning with 1 hour of the day.
Well, that's what Nikhil's doing.
The earlier hour, maybe when I have a time 8 to 9, like when I'm done with certain job and after I go to another job, maybe just take 1 hour just for myself where I'm more conscious and pay attention.
What are you paying attention to? I don't get it.
Yeah, so then the word conscious came up. I was trying to be more conscious of my action and I write down. So notice it more, being more like an observer. Let's say being an observer during that hour. That's what I was working with.
1
Okay.
hour long? For 1 hour? That was your task?
Yeah. I was beginning with that, but then I wanted to stretch it, so I kept going, but then I lost it. So yeah, but so 1 hour, if I could observe myself more, yeah, really does observing myself, my feeling, my movements, my action.
So this would be in the hour like between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m.?
Not always, but every day I could write down, choosing the hour that I have a little bit more, like, like I was trying to do like, some people they begin the day with some kind of ritual, ending or closing and
Yeah, but
beginning.
now you're talking about other things.
Yeah. So mostly it all came together, but it's
It
like
all came together.
take 1 hour where you can be for you, for you, and concentrate like as if it's the last hour of your life.
May I make a suggestion to make it much, much, much harder?
Every
She,
moment.
she hasn't said yes. She's saying yes now. So pick a specific time of the day, and I know you have a lot of chores, but maybe it is between 8 and 9. Okay, let's just say it's between 8 and 9. So at 7:59 on the clock, you start paying attention. I really like this idea of watching 1 hour change into the next hour. I think that's very profound. And then instead of watching yourself for 1 hour, why don't you do it for 5 minutes? That's it.
At the change of the hour, each change of the hour?
No.
Just once, yeah.
Once per day.
Oh, it's so short, but
I
yeah,
know
it's
it's so
good.
short. I'm the hero. I'm so magical. I can do it for 24 hours. No, you can't.
Mhm.
Do it for 1 5-minute period once a day.
Mhm.
I love this idea of watching the transition.
Mhm. Okay, that's a good deal. Yeah.
See, like Rajesh asked the question, well, how do I improve my attention? Well, you meditate for 12 hours a day and then you sing chants for another 6 hours, drink some tea and start all. No, there are people that do it that way, but that's not how we do it. The fourth way is a sly man way. Because if you could actually do that for 5 minutes from 7:59 to 8:04 every day. Do you have a phone?
Yeah, I do.
You
I
do?
do. Mhm.
And my phone has a little timer on it where I can, put different times, I don't know why it keeps deleting some of these. Anyway,
And
like
how do you look for time? You call it timer, and then it show a clock, and it show an inside timer,
there you
and
go.
then it show an inside timer is what it is.
Well,
Or it says set timer in clock or
yeah,
phone.
yeah. Be something
Which
like
one?
that. I don't
Okay,
know.
okay.
You figure it out
Yeah.
and do it put it in there for 5 minutes.
Okay.
And that's going to be so immensely difficult for you. It'd be like carrying a boulder up a mountain. EJ is the one that talks about the 5 minutes, right?
Yeah,
Just
you're right.
look at, don't do anything else. Just play the guitar for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's it. No
Yeah.
more.
Mhm. Yeah, so 5 minutes, and did I say I would just be more concentrating on those 5 minutes?
I don't know.
Mhm.
You're the one. You're the one talking right now. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I want to sensing and observe myself.
Okay, well, let's see what you do. Let's see what you come up with.
Okay, thank you.
5 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
7 times.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I hope we do that is keep going with that chapter for a while, because there is so much. And when Nikhil talk about settle account, oh my God, I would love to explore that very
Well, we've been
much.
talking about it for a month. Okay. So now it hits you. Excellent. EJ writes these books, and it takes us years sometimes to hear the sentence we're supposed to hear. But you heard it. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Does anybody else read the chapter or want to suggest an exercise for themselves?
The way I do is when we do physical exercise like body stretch out, pay attention to each muscles group or muscles where we are having a feeling of stretch. So keep paying the attention to bring your presence in now.
That's the exercise you would like to do this week?
No, I'm doing every day. So I'm just
You're doing
holding.
it every day. So
Yeah.
nothing particularly new based on this chapter. Okay.
Right.
It's all right.
No, new from this chapter is I try often, but hard to continue. That's why my original question was that.
Well, you can follow the technique that Michelle is going to use. She's just going to practice for 5 minutes a day. In her case, she has a specific hour because she's so busy on other tasks. From 7:59 to 8:04, she's going to do this exercise. That's why I said it's too simple for the human mind. I learned that from a teacher when I was studying the Spinoza Gurdjieff material decades ago.
David, from
Yes,
time
sir.
to time, I used to do this. I used to say to myself that, hey, I'm going to die tonight. or today is the last day. Uh, and it would bring about certain feelings of urgency,
Okay.
and then also it would change the way that I approached that day. I would especially do it on days where uh, I had a lot of things going on, or uh, or important events, so that I could use that against this idea of, hey, I am going to, when I go to bed tonight, that will be my deathbed, and maybe I will wake up, maybe I won't.
Okay. Well, that's a technique that is in many traditions. Okay. So if you want to shift to that technique instead of your 6 till 7 p.m. one, that's good.
Well, I think the splitting it into that 1 hour makes that 1 hour really intense
It's
as
up to you. It's
compared
up to you. It's
as
up to you.
compared to the whole day.
Yeah. No, you can't do the whole day. We're not skilled enough to do the whole day.
Mm, Well, I don't really do it the whole day. I just meant uh, at some point during the day, I just say to myself that, hey, this is my last day, and I then go about my day without thinking about it much.
Okay.
Uh,
That's a technique. But
yeah,
the Yaqui Indians use that technique. But
Which one?
they get what he's just talking about.
They just say, "This is my last day,"
Yeah.
Last
and they go about their day normally.
But they also say death is looking over my death is looking over my shoulder right now.
Yeah, the summary I got from this chapter, David, is not by 1 hour. It's the 1 hour is your last hour, and so that urgency sense and pay attention in each passing moment. So it's basically coming down to moment to moment.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's see here. You see that?
hmm
How to compare this brief life? This morning, a boat crossed the harbor, leaving no mark in the world. Mansei, this is a Japanese Roshi, somewhere around 720. This is an example of like a death poem. There's a quote, and I can never find it. but this life is so delicate, as if you were a snail crossing over the razor's edge to the other side. Think about how delicate you would have to be.
That's extreme.
Careful. Right, Bernie.
Did you say like a snail walking to the other side of the
What's
street?
that?
Did you say like a snail walking to the other side of
No,
the
no,
street?
no. Like a snail crossing over the razor's edge. You know, like a razor that you shave with.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you.
So holding yourself on these delicate moments is how it works, Rajesh. Okay. Find these delicate moments of balance.
Bernie, Swati, do you guys have any exercise that you have decided for yourself?
Actually, not purposely, but last some of the months I was having some issues. Uh, so I actually used it, like it worked for me in the wrong direction, in the sense that this chapter, right, the exercise is the last hour of your life, is to generate a kind of sense of urgency. But sometimes when like I was going through some challenges, uh, and automatically it came through my mind like, what if this is the last moment? Okay, like kind of, and it relieves you of unnecessary, what do you call, the tension in your being, in your head, right? And sometimes it's impounds so much, like, you find it very hard to survive sometimes. Survives in the sense like your
Right.
head is bursting out of, like, there are certain things that you cannot take it anymore. And in that moment, automatically, it happened like several times in past few months, that I got reminded, oh, you know what, this is not permanent. What if, like, who knows what's next? Why I'm so much worried about? Everything is uncertain. Like death could be around, And it happened like physically, like, I fainted and I was unconscious for 2 minutes at 2 a.m. in the morning. Nobody was there around me. And then I really got that glimpses, in the sense that, oh, you know what? No, next moment is not even certain, like, So, yeah, it work in both the directions. Like, it creates sense of urgency, but then it relieves you uh,
Yeah,
of unnecessary tension in your life. It could be related to anything, right? It could be work related, some personal relations. It could be financial aspects. Could be anything. But it helped me several times in that way. But yeah, I experienced even with the physical, like falling, that death is around, and you never know, it can pop up in just fraction of second and you're gone. Boom.
I sometimes do use something like that, Swati. I sometimes ask myself, what if I died right now, in this moment, in this place? What would it be like? What would be my eternality? Like, let's say I was upset at a vendor at a store. What if I died right then at that moment? You know what I mean? It's like, what chamber are you in? at that moment of death. And we can get into more stuff about like, like literally what happens at the moments of death and things like that. But this is good. I mean, just so EJ is inviting us is all. He says, bring this into your life, see what happens. See what it's like for you to enter this in to your work life. It's pretty cool, huh? Is
I would say
anybody
pretty intense.
is anybody writing a death poem like the Japanese samurai?
What is that? Can you brief a little bit on that, David?
Yeah.
Did
So
you write one? Did
so
you write one, David?
the samurai, do you know who the samurai were in Japan? They were like the elite soldiers, right? And they had Bushido. I mean, they had like high degree of character, and they would fight like warriors. They would never. But in Japan, it was like second knowledge that, of course, you're going to die. And so the great samurai would write their death poem, their testament to life. Very short, very beautiful. And they would write it in calligraphy, which was another art that they were supposed to practice. Not just the art of the sword or whatever, but how to encapsulate a life. Like what I wrote into the chat, man, say, pretty intense, huh? So
Did you write a poem, David? Because you were working on that, or no?
we'll see if I come up with one for next week.
Mm-hmm.
I started a couple of lines too a while ago. So
Okay.
yeah.
A death poem is mean. I'm not sure what it's mean.
Look it up.
It's about death or whatever way you want. It doesn't have to be your death. It can be any death or whatever.
Right. Whatever you think it means.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I wanted to look into it, but at the same time, I felt I want to first see how I feel it,
Good.
whatever the death for me feels like, and then I could try to relate and understand more, in detail.
Better yet. Better.
David, before we finish, remember to send me the translation in Spanish of the last
Sorry.
hour of.
Yep.
Whenever you write it down on a piece of paper so you can remember in the week.
I did write it down on a piece of paper, Bern. I just can't find the paper now.
It happens. It happens.
It's right here, buddy.
Okay. Thank you.
You had some people you wanted to share it with, right?
Yes. I must share this in these last group meetings. I was exercising not to participate in, because I'm very blah blah blah, talker, and so it's not that I'm not interested but I was doing an exercise. trabajo práctico. Thank you. Yes. But I was remembering, and you helped me. You all helped me. There is a kind of phrase that EJ has repeated sometimes, that it is in this line: death has a particular way of giving attention to life. In that line,
Sure.
can you repeat it?
I don't know that, I don't remember EJ talking about that. The Tibetans talk about it quite a bit, that contemplation of death forces you in a certain way to consider the beauty of life,
Yes.
not in a morbid way,
No, of course.
in a beautiful,
a word that you repeat at least many times in these
yeah,
workshops or group meetings,
yeah,
that is wonder. And death, thinking about death, or feeling the possibility, the near possibility of the finishing of this life, it also brings some wonder about the present, and
yeah.
how privileged we are that this opportunity. Anyway.
There's there's a Tibetan, we're all certain that we're going to die, right? 100% certain. Everybody who has ever lived dies. But we are uncertain as to when it will occur.
And how?
How, when, exactly. Bottom line is that it's a great opportunity, to consider it.
Okay. Thank you.
Alka, can you hear us?
Yay, she made
Hey,
it.
I think this is because of the daylight time saving.
Yes. Oh shit. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh God, I missed it.
No, you made it.
Yeah.
You made
You
it.
didn't.
Oh, wasn't it supposed to be at 8:30? Like 7:30 to 8:30?
We changed time. Maybe that's what's happening. I'm not sure if you get affected, but we changed an hour time.
They don't have daylight savings time in India.
Okay, so am I late or am I?
You're
Yeah,
late.
we
Did
are.
I just?
You're 1 hour late.
It was about the last hour of life. We were supposed to read it, and if we have any, and maybe choose an exercise to practice for next week. Did you try that?
No.
Okay. So we talk about different practice we each one going to do for next week.
Okay, and that would be.
What
are
did
we
you
supposed
say?
to- What are we supposed to do for next week?
Read chapter 20,
Okay.
24, I'm sorry. Practical work on self, and determine a practical exercise for yourself related to the chapter,
From the last hour of life.
chapter 24.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. So basically, I've finished everything that I do in the morning, and I was happy that finally I will be able to attend the class with full attention. And I realize I'm just 1 hour late for the last hour.
Barely 1 hour, like 1 hour,
10
the
minutes.
last hour. Okay.
Last hour.
Uh-oh. Ah.
All right, let's come back next week.
Bye-bye.
Hopefully I'll be here next week. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, hopefully all of us will be here next week.
Yeah.
God wishes. Bye-bye.
Okay.